I'd like to go on education. Please, roll call, please.
Dr. Bosey is not in attendance. Mr. Castile. Dr. Davis.
Here.
Miss Ellis. Mr. Garvey.
Here.
Miss Holloway.
Here.
Mr. Mellering.
Here.
Mr. Morris.
Here.
Miss Orange Jones.
Here.
Mr. Rock. Miss Boucher. And Miss Natalie Roy.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. First item.
The consent agenda is ready for your approval, adding items 5.1, 8.3, 8.4, and 9.1.
Have a motion? Motion by Ms. Orange Jones, second by Ms. Holloway. Any objection? Hearing none, motion carries. Next item.
Your first item is on page 1, item 2.1, consideration of recognizing Ms. Natalie Roy, 2021 Louisiana Teacher of the Year for her service on the BESE Educator Effectiveness Committee, and introducing 2022 Louisiana Teacher of the Year, Ms. Annalise Quezon Tedesco. The recommendation is to recognize. Did I say that?
Okay, Ms. Roy, we have a motion by Ms. Orange Jones, second by Mr. Miller. Ms. Roy, you've done an exceptional job. It's always great to recognize and work along with great educators across the state. You represent the profession pretty well, and we're very thankful for your service on BESE. And we look forward to you continue to educate our children in Louisiana. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any other comments from board before I present our award?
Yeah, I would just like to thank Ms. Roy as well. I mean, I remember our first visit in my office and you thinking about how you could make an impact, and us being in the middle of a pandemic and masked up in the office, and just trying to encourage you. You have certainly represented your colleagues well. I know you've represented your school well and your school system well. And so I just want to thank you for being a person of character over the course of the last year and repping people well. And I know that we'll be in good hands with Mr. Dester coming on.
Can I say one thing? Tommy,
Yes.
Tommy, while you go down, I'm just going to say how much I appreciate you as a parent who has kids in the East Baton Rouge Parish Public School System. I'm really grateful to your service, for your service to our district. And my nephew, who attends Glasgow Middle, hasn't had you yet, but hopefully next year is his lucky year. So thank you so much.
Just like to add to Dr. Davis's comments. I've been in your classroom as well and really appreciate the innovative approach to STEM education. So thank you for that.
Okay, now, Ms. Roy, if you will, I'd like for you to introduce our 2022 teacher of the year.
Our passionate educator and artist, Annalise Quezon Tedesco, is Louisiana's 2022 State Teacher of the Year. Representing the Louisiana First Foundation as music ambassador, she serves students from all backgrounds and ability levels statewide by joining Louisiana's First League to advocate for the importance of arts education. She also serves as the educator advisor to the Louisiana State Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. In Louisiana's greater New Orleans region, Kassar teaches music and arts electives to grades 9 to 12 at Chalmette High School. She coaches multiple scholarship and award-winning soloists and ensembles as music director for CHS Voices, who you heard today. She co-founded the Performing Arts Academy, a district-wide program dedicated to in-depth training in the arts, offered at nearly no student cost. A founding member of Chalmette High's Equity and Diversity Committee, determined to enrich the lives of students lacking resources and support, Kassar created and hosts Arts Strong, a series where guests share performances, pro tips, joys, struggles, and strength through connection to the arts. It is filmed with a live student audience and shared for free on the internet to increase equity of access to arts and emotional education resources. A professional musician, some of her performance credits include Mahler for the Children of AIDS and Beethoven for the Indus Valley, 2 Carnegie Hall benefit concerts to raise funds and public awareness for global pediatric AIDS and victims of the 2010 Pakistani floods, and the soprano solo of Handel's Messiah, a collaborative concert with musicians from Symphony Chorus of New Orleans, Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra, and Chalmette High's own varsity chorale. Welcome, Annalise.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for your year of service and for that very kind introduction. It is my pleasure to be before the board today, and I look forward to serving with you in the coming year. Thank you so much.
Any comments from the board? Well, we certainly welcome you. We look forward to serving with you as a teacher. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Any opposition to the motion? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item, please.
The next item is on page 2, item 3.1, consideration of an update report regarding the teacher exit interview system. The recommendation is to receive the report and direct LDE staff to submit the report to the Senate and House Committees on Education no later than January 15, 2022.
May I have a motion? Motion by Dr. Davis, second by President Howard. The report.
You have the report in your packet, Mr. Ryan.
So we're not going to have a presentation. If I have a question, can I ask it?
Yeah. Go ahead, Dr.
So I made one recommendation when we, in an earlier meeting about kind of adding a question related to, we asked them about whether or not they were unhappy with their district's policies and practices, but we didn't ask teachers if they were dissatisfied with our policies and practices, and so that might be one thing to look at, whether or not there are state policies that are leading to teacher exits. The other question is, do we know what the response rate is for the exit survey, so the percentage of teachers who leave? Was that in the report and I missed it? Yeah, it was, okay. And I did hear some feedback from teachers regarding a concern about giving an honest opinion in these exit interviews, even though they are leaving the district that they're in. And so is this survey actually conducted by the Department of Education, or is it conducted by the districts? So I just wonder if we might, if we're serious about knowing reasons that teachers are leaving the profession, it might be worth it to invest in a third-party survey firm that would do that, that could guarantee anonymity of responses, and we might get a more realistic picture of why teachers are leaving the profession. And I happen to know the Louisiana State University has a really good public policy research lab.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Someone else?
Now you're gonna recuse yourself. I will.
Okay, any questions? Any other questions? Any objection to the motion? Here none, the motion passed. Next item, please.
The next item is on page 14, item 4.1, consideration of certification preparation pathways submitted by Southern University of New Orleans. The department recommendation is to approve the post-baccalaureate certification preparation pathways in special education, mild to moderate elementary grades 1 to 5, and special education, mild to moderate grades 6 to 12, submitted by Suno.
We have a motion. Motion by President Holloway. Have a second. Second by Ward. Okay, any presentation, anyone? Okay, any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item.
The next item is on page 28, item 6.1, consideration of an update report regarding the Teacher Certification Appeals Council. The department recommendation is to ratify the minutes of the TCAC meeting held November 4th, 2021. Approve the appointment of Ms. Brianna Bethencourt, a certified educator representing LFT, to the membership of TCAC for a 4-year term from 2022 to 2026. And approve the appointment of Ms. Kristen DeRise, a certified educator representing Appel, to the membership of TCAC for a 4-year term from 2022 to 2026.
We have a motion. Moved by President Holloway, second by Dr. Davis. Okay, any comment? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item.
The next item is on page 33, item 7.1, consideration of revisions to Bulletin 130, regulations for the evaluation and assessment of school personnel regarding 2020-2021 school leader learning targets. The department recommendation is to approve revisions to Bulletin 130 as emergency rule effective December 15, 2021 for a period of 180 days or until adopted as a final rule, and to approve as a notice of intent.
We have a motion. Moved by Mr. Castillo, got a second by President Holloway. Okay, any questions? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion passes. Next item.
The next item is on page 36, item 8.1, consideration of executive session regarding discussion of the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of a person in accordance with Louisiana Revised Statute 4216 regarding educator credentials for Ms. Delani Marie Malama.
Can I get a motion to go into executive session? Moved by Dr. Davis, second by President Holloway. Okay, is there any public comment or discussion on this matter before we take a roll call? Roll call, please.
Dr. Bofi is not in attendance. Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Ms. Ellis is not in attendance. Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Ms. Holloway?
Yes.
Mr. Mallory?
Yes.
Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Ms. Orange-Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Boucher is not in attendance. Mr. Rock?
Yes.
A motion to go into session passes.
Okay, I will advise the audience that we will be in executive session for the length of time necessary for the discussion. No votes will be taken while the board is in executive session. All votes will be made in public. Additionally, public disclosure is not required for matters discussed in a properly held executive session. At this time, the Educational Executive Committee stands in recess to go into executive session. Can I get a motion to reconvene the Education Executive Committee? Moved by, second by Ashley. Any objection? Hearing none, motion passes. Next item, please.
The next item is on page 37, item 8.2, consideration of a records review regarding the issuance of a Louisiana teaching certificate appropriate to the credentials of Ms. Delaney Marie Malama. The recommendation is to grant, deny, or defer.
Have a motion, please. All right, move to grant by Mrs. Castillo. Second by Ms. Orange-Jones. Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion passes. Next item.
The next item is on page 87, item 9.2, Consideration of the revocation of the Louisiana Level 2 Teaching Certificate number 511620 issued to Mr. Robert Earl Tucker Jr. in accordance with BESE policy mandated in Bulletin 746-907A. The recommendation is to revoke.
I move.
Supervisor Fowler, second by Dr. Jones.
May I be heard, sir?
Yes, good.
Public comment.
Good. Public comment is from Mr. Robert Tucker, and I would note that he's coming forward. Please note that public comment is for testimony to present the board with information for consideration. This is not an opportunity for dialogue, and board members will not participate in a question and answer. You will have 3 minutes to present your information. You may go ahead, sir.
Good evening, board. My name is Robert Tucker. The objective is to determine whether a Louisiana teacher certificate should be suspended and or revoked based on certificate holder's record in accordance with Bulletin 746. We'll first define section, subsection, and subsection. Understand section, subsection, and subsection. Analyze models of section, subsection, and subsection. My activities will be a table model, a power graph, a circle graph, and of course the Bulletin 746. My first example, a section, a distinct group within a large body of things. A subsection, a division of that section, and a subsection, a subordinate division of a section. An example would be for a section would be a brigade consisting of about 2,000, 5,000 troops. A battalion consisting of about 300 and 2,000 troops is a subsection. And then the smaller unit, a company, consists of 60 to 200 troops. The rank for a section or brigade is a full-bird colonel. The rank for subsection would be a lieutenant colonel, and the rank for subsection would be a captain. Another example is a pizza model. My section would be pizza. Subsection, veggies. Subsection, a slice, or everything on it. If the everything on it is a vegetable pizza, then green olives, anchovies, and mushrooms would be okay, whereas ground beef, pepperoni, and sausage are not okay. Another example is a circle graph. If my section is Europe, and my section is continents, and my subsection is countries, and my subsection are cities. If the section is Europe, a subsection of that would be places like London, England, Madrid, Spain, and Palermo, Sicily. Examples that would not be under Europe would be Hiroshima, Japan, New York City, and or Cairo, Egypt. My last example, Bulletin 746, Section 907 states, suspension and revocation of certificate for criminal offenses. A Louisiana teacher certificate will be suspended and revoked if the individual holding the certificate has been convicted of any offenses defined in 904.8. Section 904.8 states, criminal history reporting. Crimes listed in this subsection are reported under revised statute 15587.1 in accordance with revised statute 1715. The subsection under that says any felony convictions, but that falls under subsection A. Revised statute 1715 states a person who has been convicted of every crime listed in revised statute 15587.1. So as we see the reiteration of revised statute 15587.1. Any crimes under that are prohibited, are in violation. Any crimes that are not, for example, 18 United States Code 922 Alpha 6 and 18 United States Code 922 Code 4 are not on the list of revised statute 15587.1. So in conclusion, in summary, the certificate 511620 is not in violation of Bulletin 746.
Thank you for your comment, Mr. Tucker. Any board comment? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, the motion passes. Meeting adjourned.
This concludes your attendance.